everyone, I'm Shivangi Mukherjee. I make content on self-love, mindsets and personal growth. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to apologize the right way. We are humans, we make mistakes. I've been on the receiving ends of terrible apologies. I've also, I assume, been on the giving end of bad ones, though I'm usually very mindful of what I say to someone and how I say it. So this video is meant for anyone at all who wants to apologize the right way. Yes, there is a right way of apologizing, and there are certain things that you can do while apologizing which makes it a bad apology. So to know more about this, make sure you keep on watching the video. Point number one, and the first thing to keep in mind while apologizing, is that impact precedes your intentions. What I mean by that is the impact of what you did, the harm you caused, will always precede the intention of your actions. People apologize by beginning the apology like, I didn't mean to do that, but I did and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that comes across as a justification. Your intention does not matter here when the harm you've caused is far more larger than the intention of your actions. So that is why I didn't mean to do that, I didn't mean it, just comes across an excuse and a justification. And a better way to apologize is to own your actions. Which leads me to my second point, that is, take accountability for what you did. Do not be vague about your apology. Do not apologize to someone in a meek voice. Make sure you are enunciating your apologies, you're wording it well. It is important that you take accountability for your actions and are very specific when you're apologizing. Let's say I talked over someone when we were arguing in a conflict. Now, talking over someone is fairly rude because you're not giving them a chance to speak. Say that, I'm sorry, I talked over you in a conflict. I can see that that was the wrong thing to do. When you say that, I'm sorry, I argued in a conflict, and not just I'm sorry, you're being specific about what it is you are sorry about. So the person on the other end, the receiving end, knows that exactly it is that you're apologizing for. And it's not just like, oh, the person is apologizing because they just felt like they had to apologize, apologizing for the sake of it. So always be specific. My third point while apologizing is to acknowledge why you did what you did was wrong. Let's say in this instance, I talked over someone. So I say, I'm sorry, I talked over you when we were arguing. I do not think that was right of me to do because I was focusing on being seen instead of hearing you. And I was not giving you an opportunity to be heard and to be seen. And I'm sorry for that. So when you acknowledge why you did what you did was wrong, it shows to the other person that you've reflected on your behavior, and it shows maturity at your end, it shows evolution at your end, and your willingness to sit with your own feelings and thoughts and put an effort into the relationship. Because the other person now says that you know why you did what you did was wrong. And when a person sees that you're capable enough to make deductions as to why you did what you did was wrong, or have the self-awareness around your actions, they know that you might be a person who is willing to put in the effort into a relationship to bring about a change in your behavior. Point number four, while apologizing the right way, is to bring about or to propose a corrective plan. That is what you would do differently the next time. Or if you don't know what it is you should be doing differently, ask them what it is that they need from you. I will put that into more context for you. In this case, like my example was, I was talking over someone when we were in dialogue and trying to navigate conflict, right? So I have said, I'm sorry that I talked over you in conflict. I know that what I did was wrong because I did not give you an opportunity to be seen and heard, and I was bringing that attention onto myself by talking over you, and I'm sorry for that. So you can follow this up with and close your apology with, next time I promise to focus on hearing and seeing you instead of bringing all of that attention to myself. Or you can just ask them, how would you like me to have behaved? How would you like me to have shown up the next time? What do you need in this moment from me? These are very good questions when you do not know the action that is expected of you. If you pay close attention, you will see that there are ways that I have worded my apology. The first step in saying a sorry is saying that you're sorry, being specific, taking accountability, and then proposing a corrective measure. So if you look at the apology, there's an opening to an apology, there's a body to the apology, and there's a conclusion to the apology. That is the closing. So the opening will be you saying sorry, taking accountability, and owning up to your mistakes, the body will be being specific for what it is you have done. And your closing will be basically you proposing a corrective measure or asking them what it is that they need from you in a difficult time. Now that I've shared the correct way to apologize, there are some ways that you do not apologize, and I think this is very important to share with people because I see so many people making this mistake while apologizing, and they do not realize that they end up hurting the person more when they did not set out to do that. They were trying to rebuild a connection again, right? And if your intent is to rebuild a connection and to gain trust, here are some ways that you should not be apologizing. One, I don't remember doing that, but if I did, I'm sorry. There's everything wrong with this statement. Firstly, you're saying that you don't remember doing what you did, which is a fair thing to say if you really don't remember, but if you're using this as a defense, then that's a bad thing to do, not owning up. Then you say, if I did what I did. This is a way of manipulating and gaslighting the person on the other end as to if what they're saying is true or not. It doesn't show your faith and support in them. So this is not a right way to apologize. A better way, if you truly did not remember doing or saying certain things, which might be common in an argument, because sometimes when people argue, they do bring up things from the past, which then becomes difficult to keep track of. So if you really do not remember what you did, here's something that you can say. You can say that, I'm sorry, it seems like you needed support in that moment and I did not give you that. I will try to work on that the next time, and I promise to try to show up better. This is what you say. So you're not saying, I don't remember it happened, but you say that it seems like you needed support and I wasn't able to provide that. So this shows that you're taking accountability and you're promising that you will try to show up better the next time. You will make an effort. Okay, another thing that you never do when you're trying to apologize, and a big no-no in apology, is apologizing to someone like you're doing them a favor. I'm sorry, are you happy now? No. So if you feel the need to apologize when you're in conflict, when you are feeling stimulated by all of these emotions, please don't. Take a moment, take a pause, take space, whatever it is that you need. Breathe. I'll tell you why. Because when you apologize, when you're in conflict, it does not come outright. Apology should come with a cool head and a clean heart. And it should come out like you really mean it. When people say sorry like they do not mean it, the words I'm sorry really lose its meaning, which is why if you say something like, I'm sorry, are you happy now in conflict? This does not work, because this shows that you're actually trying to do a favor to somebody else. Are you happy now? That's cocky. Do not apologize like you're doing someone a favor, because you're doing no one a favor by being a decent human being. Because being a decent human being, first and foremost, benefits yourself and not the other person. And this is something that you need to realize, because at the end of the day, you're the only person who's left with you. Another way to never apologize, which is increasingly common when someone is trying to manipulate the other person, is to play the victim card. I'm such a bad person, of course it is my fault. I'm sorry, I keep doing this. The problem with that is when you play the victim card and you say, oh, I'm the bad person here, you bring the attention onto yourself. Now imagine if I say, oh, I'm such a bad person. Someone's instinctive action would be not to agree with me and would be to say, no, don't say that. You're a good person. When you're wrong, you deserve to give attention to the person you've wronged and not bring all of the attention onto yourself. Which is why this is not the right way to apologize, and this is often used in manipulation tactics and to elicit nurture. Another very common mistake in apologizing is playing the blame game. That is, if someone points out a fault in you, you say, oh, you did it too, or they did it too, and then you didn't react like that, but when I do it, it's a problem. Please do not do that, because it just shows that you are finding fault in others just to deflect that you have gone wrong somewhere. And if then after blaming someone else or blaming the other person, you follow it up with a sorry, the words I'm sorry have really lost its meaning, okay? So you need to make sure that you're not saying they did it too, you did it too, but instead own up to the mistake that you did. This is also increasingly common with children in classroom. That is, when teachers berate a student for doing something wrong, they say, oh ma'am, they did it too. Which is a fair thing to say if the teacher is being partial, but usually when we carry these habits into adulthood, it shows that we have not really grown. Another very significant point that I wanted to share that I see people doing wrong is reaching out to content that teaches you how to say a sorry without actually saying a sorry. I understand this in a corporate setting where you might not wish to come across as submissive, or there might be reasons why you're trying to do that, but if you really wrong someone, please say sorry and do not try to work your way around saying a sorry without saying a sorry. So words like, oh, I'll be mindful next time, doesn't mean anything if you haven't preceded it with a sorry, you know. So say the words I'm sorry and make sure you really mean it, you know. Saying a sorry without meaning it is the biggest disrespect and dishonor you can do to the person at the other end who you've wronged. Now that I've shared all of the pointers of how you should not be apologizing, you will know that if you have been following these pointers consciously or unconsciously, and now if you're trying to make an improvement after watching this video, you might apologize that way out of habit, because we have been apologizing like that for such a long period in our life, and new habits don't happen overnight. So if you catch yourself apologizing the wrong way, whenever the realization hits you, please say to the person that you've wronged, can I say that again? It didn't come out right. And please explain why it is that you think it didn't come out right, if you feel like there is time for that or they're willing to listen to that. Before I end this video, I would like to leave you with a few thoughts. That is, apology shows potential in a relationship, in a human being, and apology is an act of redemption, because when done right and when followed with a course of corrective action, it can redeem you in the eyes of the person that you've wronged and with whom you're trying to rebuild a connection again. Always bear in mind that when you're apologizing, you are actually not entitled to someone's forgiveness. The person on the other end might listen to your apology, but they might not feel like they're ready to forgive you yet. And you should allow them that. Do not be stuck up on apologizing again and again and again and sort of trying to beat that person into accepting you into their life again. If you're truly sorry, apologize the right way and leave it at that. If you lose a connection, you lose a connection because of your actions, but at least you made the effort to correct what you did was wrong. And you cannot force your way into someone else's life if they don't want you there. That is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching and for staying with me till the end. If you have any thoughts to share with me at all, you can always drop your comments for me at the bottom of this video. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye. Take care.